Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am here to talk about and review Alien vs. Predator Requiem. This is a 2007 film that was directed by the brothers Strauss. And the plot is, it seemingly takes place right after the events of the last movie where you saw that the dead predator, Scar, there was an alien inside of him. It comes out of his chest, it's still on that ship with the other predators, and it grows up, it becomes a Predalien. This hybrid of an alien and predator wipes out all of the predators on the ship, crash lands on Earth. It takes control of all of these aliens and wreaks havoc. So this other predator finds out about this, goes to Earth to hunt down each and every one of these aliens one by one. And honestly, just by that plot alone, it probably sounds like a pretty kick-ass, cool little movie. At least, if it went only that route, it probably would have been a much better thought of and talked about, fun, enjoyable, good movie. But there are also some human characters. Now, what I think of Alien vs. Predator Requiem is, don't get me wrong, I do not hate this movie. I know that there are plenty of people who hate this film, rant on it, and crap all over it, and say that it's like the worst movie they've ever seen. And I understand, to a point, I do. I'm not really here to sit here and defend it in any way, because, like, rewatching these Alien vs. Predator movies, like, when I first saw them, when I was in high school, I was like, oh, these are cool movies, but didn't think a whole lot more about them. Rewatching it, it's like, wow, yeah, these movies aren't nearly as fun or enjoyable as I remembered. I still don't hate this movie. I just feel like at the end of the day, even though the first Alien vs. Predator movie might have still been a little bit of a miss, a little bit of a disappointment, they still could have turned it around, and they still could have done something special and different with this. And I think parts of this movie go in that route, but here are the issues. First, we have this character Dallas, played by Stephen Pasquale, and I don't mind this actor. I don't even mind the character. He's a guy who I think is coming back into town from jail or something. I might be wrong, I forget. He comes back in town. He's here to take care of his little brother, his younger brother. The sheriff is sort of looking after him as well. And you see his brother, Ricky, played by Johnny Lewis, who he has this side plot of being in love with this girl Jessie, but Jessie has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend, of course, is an asshole, dick, bully, beats up Ricky for really no good reason. It was pathetic. And so you have all this side plot going on, and you don't give a fuck. You don't. Even if it's not necessarily the actor's fault, I'm not sitting there going like, wow, they all suck as actors. It's just their characters. Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck about this teen angst romance and the bully boyfriend? Just all of this stuff that I'm sitting here like, wow, this is an Alien vs. Predator movie. Which you don't need human characters anyways, but if you're going to have them, why are we having this level of a plot with them? Really? Really. But you also get this character, Kelly, who may be a little bit more interesting. She's a soldier coming back home. She's with her husband and little daughter. The daughter's not necessarily close with her yet. And that's better. Maybe if the film was just about them, or at least as far as human goes, just about them, I'd be more okay with it. The sheriff, Eddie, is played by John Ortiz, who is a really good actor. It's kind of weird to see him in a movie like this. It's kind of random, but he's here, and he's trying to do something with this plot. But the human characters are non-sequential, they're not important, they're not needed, honestly. I think this film should have been, you could have done the same thing of the Predalien, as dumb as that sounds, this Predalien hybrid on Earth with all these aliens doing what they're doing, and have this lone predator, which this is the first time you see the planet of the predator. You don't see a lot of it, but you see a little bit of it. You see enough of it to go like, holy shit, this is different. And the Predator goes to Earth hunting and tracking these aliens. It even gets rid of the evidence of the bodies that it's killing, or any clues and signs that they exist. The Predator is cleaning up the messes and tracking these aliens down, and that's fucking interesting. You could have made this whole movie just about this one Predator. No dialogue, no words, or have subtitles if it does ever need to talk. Just the scenes of the Predator with its technology or with its weapons, or just that cool blue stuff that it uses to burn all of the bodies. And I'm like, why couldn't we just get a film about this Predator doing this? That's where you don't have to worry about the awful dialogue or the awful human characters and their dumb side plots. This could have been something different, something unique, something kind of cool, to have a story with a Predator as your main protagonist. These humans, they talk about how, there's a disagreement on, some of them want to go to the hospital to find helicopters and get out of the town for safety, and the other group wants to go to the middle of the town because the government is telling them to go there and that they'll be picked up for safety. And so where do you go? And that could have been interesting, but the whole government knows about this and is not telling anyone and is lying to people, and that they're secretly going to keep this under wraps and kill people and try to experiment or find out more about these aliens. It's like, how many times have we seen sci-fi movies that do that? That's not original. That's not different. That's not something new. It's a trope. It's a trope at this point that I see the guys in suits who are secretly behind some of this stuff, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. And that's how they bookend the movie, with a possible sequel, which thank God never happened. I will say that the moments when the Predator, like I said, is doing his thing, that's kind of cool. I know that people have complained about how dark this is shot, that it's hard to see what's exactly going on, especially in some of the fights. I agree. I didn't even remember just how dark some of the stuff is. I know most of it takes place at night, and that is what you should do. Some of the practical effects for the alien and whatnot looks as good as you're going to get for the budget that I'm sure they had. The moments of them fighting and going at it, you need more of that. There's not enough of that. Too much of the humans bickering. Do I hate this movie? No. There might have been a time where I even defended this movie a little bit more because I was like, it's just a dumb action film or a dumb horror movie. The part where the Predalien finds pregnant women and shoves eggs down their throat, and then the little aliens come out of their bellies, that's some fucked up shit. That's creepy shit. That's the beginning of this movie. Starts off with them killing a father and his little boy, with face huggers and aliens coming out of the little kid's chest. That's some dark stuff. It's stuff that I'm not necessarily sure they even needed to go, but I at least kind of a little bit appreciate that they were trying to be daring, but then everything else isn't that daring. Everything else isn't that inspired. As much as I said that I like the fact that the Predator was going around trying to clean up the mess and hide the fact that aliens were doing what they were doing, killing these bodies, why does he kill the cop and then skin the cop's body alive, leaves the skinless body on a tree for the sheriff to find? That's where the script breaks down. That's where you go, like, even if you want to do some of this stuff, you're not making the Predator's actions make sense. And you just start to kind of hold your head down and go, wow. I was a lot more bored by this movie than I ever remember being before, and that's disappointing. So I found myself just rewriting this whole movie while watching it, and that's not good. So guys, clearly I do not like, as much as I remembered, Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I still don't think it's the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's wasted potential. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Alien vs. Predator Requiem? Do you like it? Do you love it? Or are you one of those people who say it sucks? It's one of the worst movies ever. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later! Please won't you save my desires on fire. Sometimes you need a little piece at home. I'm tired, so wired. Come follow me and I can lose you. Come follow me and take a trip to the dark side. Waiting for the perfect moment.